too much fun out in nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, we're starting to stream right now, so it'll be going live here in a minute. So anything you say can and will be held against you. Cool. So normal house keeping. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, and we'll go silent for 10 seconds, and then we'll intro and start the show. And then at the end, I'll say thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Don't hang up. We'll talk a little bit more before we shut everything down.
Cool.
Okay, let's see. All right, we got one viewer, so that means it's actually live. Are you able to see us?
I am logging in.
I gotta refresh.
Refresh, you're so fresh.
Oh, there it is. So fresh and so clean.
Enhance.
Ain't nobody.
Enhance. All right, it looks like we are live.
All right, what up, Internet?
I got to do something with that green screen. What can I put there?
Oh, man.
I wish I could do it live right now. Like if I would have known, I would have come up with something beforehand.
I second thought when I stepped in front of this thing. I was like, man, they're gonna make me look funny.
You're making the assumption that we have the capabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
To do
You're
something to make
assuming
you
that
funny.
we know how the green screen technology works.
The fact that you are on the screen talking to us and we're recording it, that's as far as we've gotten.
I just want credit for acknowledging that we could potentially do something.
You did know that
because of the green screen.
You did know that. Good job.
I don't know how to do it though.
No.
Now I kind of halfway expect you guys to do something funny.
I will try. I will give it my best. But
put them on the moon or something. That'd be cool.
I'll put them in a. Let's see. What would
we
I
have?
put them in?
We have an Echo.
We have an Echo. Was that what the live feed is saying?
Mm-hmm.
Someone has bad echo, huh?
Rob says there's bad echo, but remember we had this, like I said earlier. When I had to update the system, it
It's that Unix shit.
we went that Starship.
I have no idea how you guys are doing this to begin with. So
It's all smoke and mirrors, dude. We make it up every week, every single week.
because the last time we did this, it was all audio, no video.
Yeah, so we make it up every week. So chat room, does that change anything on the Echo? Anybody? Chase, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you guys super clear.
Okay.
John Gamble says no echo.
Okay.
All right, yeah,
You're the man, John.
we all sound good according to Adam.
Okay. Well, I moved one of the slider buttons down on this one thing.
I was gonna say if you have any sliders,
Yeah, just
try them.
Try them.
I slid a slider. I'm gonna leave that window. I'm gonna leave that window open but minimized. And
You're such a professional, man.
I am a professional make it up as you goer.
He's a professional at not being professional.
Yes, I cannot be professional all day. I'm super good at it. I'm the VP of not being professional. Okay, we are recording. We're gonna start. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is 6:30 Monday night, November 16th. We are chatting live with Chase Gentry from Gentry Gym, Adventure Overland, recent Moab trips, about 16 other social media accounts, 14 different businesses. I don't even know how this guy's even awake right now. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Good. Yeah, like I'd said, man, you've got you and your wife seem to have so much going on all the time. I don't even know how you have the energy to continue doing the things that you're doing. How do you keep it up?
Dude, that's a good question that I'm still trying to figure out on the daily.
I bet if you stopped, I bet if you guys took a vacation and took like 2 days off, you'd crumble. Like you wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah, it's really hard to turn off, like worrying about stuff. But I don't know. We just kind of make it work, you know. I think that's what you have to do.
Well, you say you're trying to make it work, but it seems like you're not only making it work, it's being successful. Everything you guys are doing is growing and growing and growing. It's been when did we? Yeah, damn it, I meant to look that up. When did we have you guys on the last time?
Man, I want to say it was a solid 2 years ago, to be honest with you. If
Was
not
that-
2 years,
Was it
really close.
before COVID?
Oh yeah,
That's-
it was in the before time.
That's all that matters now. BC Before
Yeah.
COVID.
It was in the before times, 100%. But it was definitely before Hammers last year. We'll talk about that. It was
episode 64.
64, so 90-ish episodes ago.
Oh, I didn't say the year 90. I was like, what?
Wow.
It just says 2 years ago.
Dang.
2 years
Told
ago.
you, see?
That is crazy. I didn't think it was that long ago, man.
It's been a minute, man. It's been a hot minute.
So in that 2 years, so we had you on the show a couple years ago. We were fortunate enough to be able to connect with you guys in person at the Hammers Icon event in February. And that was we were kind of talking
Also
about it.
BC.
Yes, also BC. That was just BC, like that just before.
Like, hey, right before BC.
Yeah, that was the last breath we all took without being concerned. But we were talking about before we actually started recording is how much fun we had there and how good that group was. It was just Icon did a great job of bringing together a bunch of people from the interwebs, and we all had just a awesome time.
Am I from the interweb?
You're an interweb person, I think.
What?
Now you're like Ralph.
No.
You're like Wreck-It Ralph, dude.
No
Yes.
way.
You are like Ralph.
Can I tell people that I'm an interweb person?
I think we need to get Matt a Wreck-It Ralph tattoo. Like that's
Why is it
Yes.
why couldn't it just be a shirt? You had to go to like
You gotta
tattoo.
why so hard in the paint, dude?
Yeah. Damn.
because I cannot think
Wreck-It Ralph.
I cannot think of another cartoon that
Voltron?
more exemplifies
Yeah, dude,
Matt.
I think I'm more like Voltron.
Dude, no, because if your pieces come apart, they're not going back together. That's
Form Blazing Sword, dude, that is totally me. He-Man?
No.
I'm very much like He-Man.
you are Ralph. You are 100% Ralph.
I'm more of a retired G.I. Joe.
Whatever. An ass-kicking one. Ass-kicking, beer-drinking G.I. Joe.
So since the last time we talked, you guys have opened your gym, right?
Yeah. We endured COVID with the gym, which was interesting.
I know. I was watching. You know, of course, we all watch what you guys do on social media, and you're so consistent with how you guys post. Like we're able to see what's going on almost in real time, and you know, it seems like for all gyms, you know, it was tough, but for a privately owned small gym, it had to be extremely tough to get through.
It was very, very tough, man. This was probably the most challenging year professionally that I've ever had to. Not just me, both my wife and I. My wife runs a lot of the business stuff. Of course, I'm gone and stuff, but this was definitely the most challenging year that we've ever had to face.
Yeah.
We had to make some extremely difficult decisions, and every day it was sort of just literally playing it by ear. I think in total we were closed for about 5 months. So when you take 5 months of business revenue and
Zero
everything
income.
else, I mean it's just legally I can only charge people for 30 days before I'm not allowed to do so anymore. So
Yeah, but your landlord doesn't have that same program.
no. And, we've got almost a 19,000 square foot building off of the expressway, so it ain't cheap to keep the front door open or keep it here. Period. But man. Owning a gym or any service-based business, I'm very empathetic for all of those people out there, and all you guys that have restaurants, gyms, and stuff like that, because this is an extremely challenging year. And unfortunately, a lot of people didn't make it through it. And that sucks.
Yeah, and we've talked about, even just last week when we talked to Brian from Air Down, so many of us in the community, whether it be social media influencers, small businesses, podcasters, for most of us, we're all doing something else. We're doing a job, and then and then the social media stuff that's all afterwards. And when that job becomes either non-existent, like a lot of people that have lost their jobs, or your business gets to a point where it's you're making tough decisions, that there's a cascading effect of what that will affect in your life. And I'm glad that you guys made it through as much as you did. Like you said, not everybody has. It's been tough.
Yeah.
Some of us have been very fortunate and been able to stay gainfully employed during this transition of life. And for those of you that haven't,
Transition of life?
You're going through a transition?
Yeah, this is a pandemic. It's not a transition of life.
Well,
what is that?
Okay.
You just made like one of the worst things in human history sound like, well, you got a hangnail and you got to go.
What step are you in your transition?
No.
Yeah.
If you can't tell what step I'm at in my transition, I'm clearly not doing a good job. What I'm saying is like whatever life was
find another doctor. Whoever's doing it.
Because I don't look good for either side of the fence. So whatever side
you're stuck in the middle, dude.
You're stuck in the middle.
I'm Pat. I'm Pat from Saturday Night Live. But what I'm saying is like in the before times to when the after times, whenever the after times comes, this is a transition. Life is going to be different at some point. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Is that
Apparently, it's going to be different for you, dude.
it's Pat. On
that note too, though, a lot of there's this whole, this is crazy to talk about, but this whole pandemic has created a lot of good for people in the sense of, marketing had to step way up on retail is totally different now than it was before COVID.
Yep.
Obviously everyone knew the severity, the importance of social media or online sales and stuff, but I personally think that the brick and mortar stores and services are going to be or have already completely rethought how they're going to run business moving forward.
Jose and I were having this conversation earlier. The commercial office space is going to change. The businesses that had 20 people in a 20,000 square foot office space spending crap tons per month, that's transitioning, man. Those footprints are going to go away and they're going to be transitioned into something else. They'll convert those office spaces into something else. A lot of companies will not ever go back to the office space once they've understood how to use. And my first work from home job was in 2007. It was 100% remote. And I thought, this is the future. The COVID
just solidified that.
Propelled everybody else. All of the people that didn't want to let people work from home because they were too concerned about loss of productivity, they didn't have a choice. They saw, okay, maybe we lost some productivity, but the amount of money we can save in rent and utilities and all the other things
makes up for that productivity
tenfold. And when you think about it, you think if there's 100 people in an office that are now not getting in their cars, using fuel, emissions, traffic, all of the other things that cascade out around that office space, the world is going to change. And to your point, Chase, it's different markets are going to emerge from it.
But what if I kind of like going into the office and
you can
get away from
nobody else will be there. No one wants to see
get
you.
away from people. You know what I'm saying? just people I might live with.
My family.
So that's okay, yeah.
I was trying to speak in euphemisms and innuendos, Jose.
Tammy and I just talked about this because she was in the hotel business for a long time, and so hashtag I called this. Hashtag I called this.
Yeah. Tap.
I own this idea, so you can't do it now.
Nope.
But
it's legal. This is binding.
I could see some of these commercial office spaces and hotels converting a portion of their footprint to a remote workspace. So let's say you don't have, let's say your wife and kids are at home and you don't have an extra office to work from home in, but you're a walk away from a hotel, the Anaheim hotel. You go in there and they have a room set up just to work. So you rent it for, the month to do your remote work from that room as an office space. And it's not a full, you know what I mean? It's a small, hey, you know what? I'm not going
desk, a chair, an
desk,
internet.
yes, and a whiteboard. You know what I mean? Like they convert some of these
that's
spaces.
super interesting. I just moved my sister in an apartment in Cedar Park here in Central Texas, and they had like 8 different 10 by 10 rooms, a desk and a chair that you could rent specifically for that reason.
Well, so they have these places called WeWork and communal work, like where multiple businesses can rent space in a communal area to do work. You know what I mean? And that's already a thing that's out there. I think some of the commercial footprint that was being used for office space will transition to other things down the road. And I'm no future scientist, but that's one of the things that I'm thinking of.
For sure.
So fortunately, the gym, that's one of those things that will not convert because people look like me still, and they need to go to see your business to not look like me anymore. So that's always going to be a thing.
Either that or they need to close like In-N-Out down. Did In-N-Out close down? No.
I
don't know if it's obvious,
like
but obviously the gyms around here are closed. So.
I would be so bummed if they close In-N-Out down. So gyms are always going to be a thing. And so I'm going to, I'm hoping that you guys continue to flourish. I mean, one of the things I've noticed about your guys' gym, and obviously I'm not a member because I don't live in Texas, but you guys seem to have a really tight-knit group, like a very tight-knit, like a community, not just a bunch of people that come work out.
That's exactly what it is, man. I mean, and it's interesting because, I spent 10 years coming from a retail space, and when we did this, I wanted to go into it not being super aggressively salesy or pushy or demanding for people to sign up. It needs to be organic, and the way that you do that is on social media. And I think a lot of businesses, for whatever reason, have just missed that boat over the last couple of years until now.
Well, I don't think they had to. They didn't have to rely on. You made the point earlier that now they have to rely on it. Before it was all your traditional marketing stuff. It was the billboards. It was the events, TV, whatever.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh my God, we have to do something different.
Yeah. So when we would sign people up, the first thing we would do is get them on Instagram, tag them, so that way they feel included in like what we're doing, and then of course they share it. Everyone's got 1 to 5 people in their circle, and they talk about it, and it just sorts of this snowball effect, But obviously, like you said earlier, Jack and I are very involved in the business, and we try to be known and fix things when things come up, and I think people will respect that. Business owners sort of get bad reputations because they tend to usually just not care about their customers, I guess. And we obviously can't tailor every single body, and never going to make everyone happy, but we do our best to try to make sure that we're being there when we can, so people feel that they're appreciated. And in turn, that creates loyalty, and then they talk about their friends, and then, like I said, it just kind of grows from there. So.
Yeah, well, going back to your point about not making everybody, there's only 3 of us in this room, and we can't keep everybody happy at any given time. Given the your entrepreneurial, what's the word I'm looking for? Like what you're doing with your gym, and one of the values, I guess, and that's going to transition to the next piece is you've got some freedom. You've got the ability to do a lot of the adventure overland stuff that you would do, where some of us that are punching clocks, it's only weekends, it's only nights out. You know what I mean? Like, does the gym, being the owner of the gym and having a good team behind you to help manage things, is that what's giving you the opportunity to go out and do some of these things?
Yes, definitely by far. Kind of going back to my history, when I was in the car business, it was 6 days a week, dark to dark, so I didn't get to do a whole lot. It was only work, and so now, don't get me wrong, we're this coming March will be 3 years that the gym has been open, and like no business is really 100% profitable or earning a green until 36 to 5 years basically. So.
And just hold on real quick. Just keeping it open this long, especially through a pandemic, is in itself an accomplishment that you should be very proud of. You guys have done an amazing, literally, like we just talked about, all of these businesses, and I know businesses that have been around for 20 years that didn't make it through the pandemic. A new business startup making it 36 months on top of the pandemic. You guys should really be proud of what you've accomplished.
Yeah, when we talk about like that, yeah.
I guess we are doing something right.
I bet they're moving so fast they don't even realize it. They don't have the time to think back to actually reflect.
That's kind of what it is. I mean, Jack and I just had the conversation a couple of days ago. It's like, damn, March is going to be 3 years already. Like a whole, it sucks because yes, we're very fortunate and very blessed to still be open. However, we've basically lost 12 months of progress. Like it's just our member count hasn't really. It hasn't. When we lost like 400 members during the midst of the pandemic, we've signed all those people back up, or new 400 people. So, but the overall bar hasn't really moved for 2020. And like in any business, that's not that it's bad, but because we're still open. However, it's just we haven't moved forward. So. And in retrospect of things, when you start a new business, there's a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, to follow along, with to hit your goals or whatever. And so having to, on the fly, recalibrate and make changes to try to get back on pace, or just keep whatever momentum that we do have. I think that's been the most challenging thing. I don't know. I kind of forgot where I was going with that, but
I think again, I have a lot of respect for what you guys have done and the fact that you've made it this far. And what I do know about you guys is how diligent and driven you are. And maybe this pandemic has put a dent in the trajectory of where you planned on being in 3 to 5 years. But I don't at all expect that it's gonna taper off. Like, that's just all that is for you. All that is for you is a new challenge for you and Jackie to overcome, which I'm certain you will, because you always do. Like, it's just one of those things where you guys will look back in a handful of years and go, remember 2020? Like, all of us, I think all of us are going to look back at some point and go, remember the dumpster fire
let's just wait. 2020 is not over yet. Let's just wait before it's actually over, and then we'll start talking about remembering.
They found murder hornets just last week, a giant 200 queen hive.
Dude, 2020.
We had UFOs at some point this year.
What? Oh my God!
Where? Hold on, Texas.
Whoa. Yeah.
It's in
Okay.
Texas.
No, the Pentagon, they acknowledge that there's crafts from another planet here,
Well, they don't know what it is,
but it's not from this planet.
Well, they don't know what it is. That's all.
And what's funny is all of us are like, oh, December 31st, man. January 1st, we're going to wake up January 1st. It ain't going to be different.
Remember when the biggest worry was 2012, like the Mayan calendar?
No. The biggest worry was Y2K.
Oh, Y2K.
Yes. I don't know if you guys, you weren't old enough, Jose.
Yeah, look, I got burned out.
I lived through it.
I got burned out of my house because of Y2K.
Did you really?
Yeah, I lived in a back house.
I remember that.
And you don't remember?
No,
that,
you told me. I remember.
Yeah, and the neighbor next door.
Oh, that's right.
His carpool or his carport was like a foot away from our house, like our back house, and he was working on his motorcycle in Not December. It was like October, but it was very cold, and he had a kerosene heater that he couldn't shut off, so he tried to smother it, which lit the whole carport on fire, which lit my house on fire.
How was that Y2K?
Because he was storing up. The reason why my house went up like a tinderbox is because he had 255 gallons of kerosene drums, and the fire inside the carport caused one of them to burp open. Guess where it was aiming? Right at my house.
So for Y2K, he was stockpiling fuel.
Yes, he was convinced it was the end of the world. Planes were going to come falling out of the sky. And so he was prepped. He was ready to go. And
it was the end of your world.
So I was pretty pissed off, right? And I was going to go give him like a what for it when he got out of the hospital, because he tried to put out a fire by smothering it with like his jacket or something. Yeah. When I saw him like 2 or 3 weeks later, he had claws for hands. Like, swear to God, black claws. I seen him walking like this, like all stiff. I felt bad for him. I felt bad for him. He burned me out of my house. I had to live at my parents' house again. And
you still feel bad for him?
Yeah, exactly. Guess what? Then he goes, oh, man, don't worry, my insurance will take care of it. His insurance expired. That MFer, dude. Richard, I'm going to hunt you down. Now I'm pissed off again. I'm gonna track that guy down.
I think that's the best story we've ever told of this show.
Oh, my God. I saw my baseball cards. You know that shit? Like when you're a
Babe
kid,
Ruth.
all your comics and stuff when you're a kid. I had a Babe Ruth card.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Well, he said it.
Okay, wow. So I'm not sure exactly how we ended up there.
So that was a tangent. We're known for those.
Yes, we do.
We're known for those tangents.
We do those at times.
You listen to this show.
Makes the show good.
Thank you.
It makes the show less bad. Let's not be
real here, right?
I'll take it.
I don't want to set people up here. Come on. So going back to my comment about having the freedom to do stuff as an entrepreneur and a business owner, like what has been going on with Adventure Overland? I mean, again, if you guys haven't already gone out and followed Chase, adventure.overland, because for some reason he doesn't like vowels. Adventure Overland, seriously, it is so much content in the off-road overland world. and it's such good content. So tell me about what you've been doing on the Adventure Overland side.
That's an interesting question, man. 2020, 2019, I did 38,000 miles.
Damn.
I was fortunate enough to get invited, and I hit all the major Overland Expos, and that's not why I do it, but that's obviously cool, But this year, because of COVID and Jim taking precedence, this Moab trip was sort of, besides King of the Hammers with you guys, BC, this Moab trip, this Moab trip was basically the first, I guess, real adventure that I've done this year because of it. It wasn't a priority. So I made real good on that adventure. So I had to catch up on stuff.
Yeah, so you got invited to go out to Moab, and when did you? I mean, I know you've only been back for a little while, but how long was the trip? When did you leave, and when did you come back?
Oh man, I left on the. When did I leave? It was 9 days on the road. I got invited to the Moab 4x4 Expo about a week before the event. And I was in the process of moving my sister from Dallas to Austin when I got the invite. So I had to drive from Austin down to here, pack up the truck. The truck had no tent on it, which is why I pulled the trailer, because I wasn't really expecting to do anything for the rest of the year. So, 9 days on the road, we hit 3-degree weather, we hit rain, it was like everything, man.
Yeah, watching the good thing about Texas is everything is so close together. Like you can get to everything, you can get to everything quickly. So, so that's one of those things. So side note here, really good friends of ours just moved to Texas, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they're close. And then I texted my wife while you were talking, and she said it was McKinney, Texas, and I looked. I think that's like 17 hours away from you. It's still in Texas, but it's like forever away.
16 and a half hours.
Okay. So,
so it's close for you guys.
But what if you're driving a Frontier? Then it's like
12.
Yeah. Oh no, probably 10.
Yeah.
Okay. 10.
If I'm driving it,
yes, 10.
Yeah.
But the going back to that, so you got invited to the Moab 4x4 Expo. You take off. You were driving to Tacoma with some new rubber on it.
With some new rubber, man. Yeah. Awesome tires.
Yeah. So background here, I'm gonna. Chase sent me a message and he's like, "Okay, serious talk. What about those Nexons?" And I'm like, "100%, dude. I love these tires. Get these tires." Chase ends up with a set of tires on there, and they made that 9-day trip from Texas to Moab through. If you go look at his social media and the videos that they've put up, it was rock, sand, snow, mud, every all of it. So tell us about
water up to the fog lights a couple times. It was. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I think I tested a tire harder than anyone could test a tire in 9 days. I folded the sidewall over the rim several times. I had brand new Icon wheels on it. All 4 wheels are chewed up. I mean, it was. I got into my side door a little bit. It was. We really pushed that truck to its absolute limit, man.
Yeah, there was one video you had. I can't remember the name of the trail, but at the very end of the trail, there's this. You had to get up and over, and like you dragged that.
Creek.
Yes, and you got that Tacoma up, and those Nexons got a little bit of grip, and you just dragged that truck all the way over that obstacle.
Oh, dude, it was brutal, man. So that was a total like accident type of thing. We missed the whole Moab 4x4 Expo was, I was there as like a guest trail guide type of thing. And the first day you're supposed to go on a specific trail run and so on the next consecutive days. Well, the first day I was doing a bunch of video and photos of the new Bronco, and I missed my departure. So I was like, well, I'll just meet everybody out there and I'll just catch up. Well, they were already gone. So I was like, well, we'll double back. And then I saw the turn off to Cane Creek. Of course, the sign up there on the trail was just like, oh, you need a four-wheel drive, like they all say. And it's like, I got a four-wheel drive and a winch and a locker. We'll be fine.
Yeah, but in Moab, when someone says you need a four-wheel drive, that's a very different conversation than Texas.
Yes, yeah. So 13.7 miles. I got about 10 miles in, and I get to this first, just 90-degree turn with rocks the size of smart cars on each side of me. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I can make that, And, so we squoze it through there, and we scratched the driver's door, the back door, and then at about mile 12, it started to get really, really gnarly. And, those tires were folded over the rim several times, sliding, bouncing. The front tire was off the ground 3 feet at one point with a 300-foot drop off on the driver's side at another point. It was aggressive, man. I was following Wranglers on 37s and 40s on this trail, which is already a bad indicator on a Tacoma with 33s. It's just like, I should not be here right now.
Or if you're Matt, get out of my way.
I'm on the horn.
Yeah,
come on,
move, you stupid Jeeps. But so that makes me. We've talked about it several times, like on the show. Like, Nexon Tire is our sponsor because we believe in the brand, right? And it makes me feel really good that you asked, I gave you my opinion, and it ended up that you felt the same way about the tires when it was all said and done. I mean, that's.
Oh man, dude! Like I said, I'm a huge believer now. Not just because I have them on the truck, but like I said, snow, ice, the rock. I would have thought for sure that I would have blew a tire on some of the stuff that I was going up against, and just jagged edges. The truck would just slide down and just bang into the side of a jagged edge, and it never missed a beat, man. I mean, it was just incredible. The slick rock out there on fins and things.
Mm-hmm.
How
did you like Fins and Things?
It was awesome, man.
I love that's the one I've been on. So I went to Moab once. That I went on 4 trails or whatever. That's the one I always come back to. Just that giant rolling rock with the views. Yes. It's just the coolest thing in the world. I cannot wait to get back there and do it.
So awesome, man. So awesome. Yeah, we were picking hard lines on purpose. We were trying to crawl up the steepest stuff that we could find. At one point, I actually stopped the truck and then accelerated again just to see if it would slide backwards or not. And they just kept biting and I just let them eat, man.
Nice.
Let the beasts eat. They're fantastic tires. So you spent 9 days total. How many days on the trail? How many different trails did you do?
So we started off with Cane Creek, so we went full blown from day one. So that sort of, to be honest with you, it was a 7-hour day, 13.7 miles. It took us 7.5 hours to do it.
Wow.
And yeah, it was hardcore, man. That last ledge you were talking about that's on my Instagram, that pulling up to it, the top of that ledge was level or just if not higher than the top of my hood. To tell you, I guess, perspective on how tall that ledge was. And there was no other way but over. So that day it was kind of like, all right, we went hard in the paint today. So let's not get that aggressive the next 3 days.
Well, but after you do something like that, isn't part of you like, oh my God, my truck is way more capable than what I thought it was, and you're someone that has pushed your truck in the past. So you get through an obstacle, like you get through Cane Creek, and you're like, all right, bring it on, bring that shit on, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely that. There was a little bit of like, fuck yeah, this comes.
You did it! Yay!
39 minutes.
At one point, you know how you get like an audience, people standing on the trail, and they're like, oh, there's no way in hell. And there's 2 Wranglers parked at the top, and then this whole family's just watching me like, this guy's a moron. I'm thinking the same thing myself.
Yeah, for different reasons. They're not wrong, but for different reasons.
Yeah, you don't go backwards. It's 5:30 at night on the trail, 20 miles outside of Moab. Like, you either sleep on the trail or you send it, So we sent it, and we made it through, and it was like, dude, mad props. Can't believe I just did that.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we did Cane Creek, and then the next day we did Top of the World. Then we did Fins and Things. I guess those were the 3, big iconic ones. And we did a couple of small things over there in the Sand Flats, like I don't remember the name of it. Not the Lion's Back, but
7 Mile Rim, Chicken Fingers, any of those?
We did Chicken Fingers. Little small ones there. Just it takes like 5 minutes to do them. And we went up and backwards, and I went up one backwards just to see if do it.
Wow.
So is Moab the Mecca now? I mean, are you convinced that you need to get back there?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Moab is an off-roader's paradise. The only thing about Moab is it's not ideal for, I guess, the camping experience because how do I say that? I wouldn't say it's just you go to Moab to play in rocks. You don't go to Moab to camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I would assume the only time I went, I stayed in a hotel all week. Like we got a hotel there in town, went out and wheeled, came back into the hotel thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's not similar to like some of the areas that we like Johnson Valley, where it's just giant open areas where you can camp, or even Big Bear, where there's designated camp spots and stuff. I don't know if they do that in Moab. I don't know if those exist.
There are, but you got to go, a good 20, 30 miles outside of Moab, which, that's a little bit of a, so like, because I was there for an expo and had to be there at 8 o'clock every morning, it was kind of like, going 30 miles out to find a sick camp spot just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
So you drive around like Arches and, right outside of town on, I think it's like 127 or whatever those two roads are that have a lot of dispersed camping. And of course, because everyone that usually is not outside is not outside, they're all full. So it's like, damn, where am I going to camp at tonight? You know? So,
and for the most part, the trail, like if you were to stay in Moab, less than 10 minutes outside of town in any direction is iconic trails. It's crazy how they literally built this town in the center of this trail map. And then, so to your point, once you have to get outside of the town to find those spaces. But and I would bet it's the same during Jeep Jamboree. I bet it's impossiple to find a place to camp or stay.
Oh, dude, and they're doing so much construction through Moab right now. They're redoing the entire main street. So like half of Moab is like it's plus there's the outside industry is just on fire right now. So everybody is outside. So there's just so much traffic. So it's almost ideal just to stay on the trails or at camp or in town.
Yeah, in a Walmart parking lot or something. Find a place to pitch the tent.
Yeah, which is always sketchy because
yeah.
Is that a knock on Walmart?
No, I think maybe it's a knock on Moab or just society in general. Let's unpack that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's society in general. So you went out there for the Moab Expo, 4x4 Expo. You wheeled the crap out of the Tacoma, and you saw exactly how awesome that Tacoma is, and then brought it home and put it up for sale.
I did.
What is wrong with you?
That's so funny, man, because my Instagram has been going haywire since I posted that.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. What?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
I kind of expected to, like... It's funny because, like, the way the social media interwebs things work is a lot of people follow people for the vehicle. And, like, when I first started the page, it sort of kind of was that. But then, somebody told me, like, well, who's the guy behind the truck? So over the last 3 years, it's different. I'm the guy that's doing these things, not the truck is just a tool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we wheeled the crap out of the truck. I brought it home. This is something that wasn't just like all right, I'm done with it. It was sort of all year. I kind of been. You guys have seen the truck. It's got every part known to man bolted to it.
It is literally, if someone was like, I want the perfect Overland off-road adventure vehicle, you would go, there's Chase's truck.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's I'm a gearhead. I like to modify and build stuff. And I wouldn't say that I'm bored with it, but, when I got to make that 20 million hour haul out of Texas to get to those cool places, a 220-pound dude in a little Tacoma gets old after a while. Now, if I lived in Colorado, which I plan to be there soon, and I just had to make like a 4 or 5 hour trip to these destinations, that's no big deal. But,
Southern California, man, we're close to all the trails. You can.
We talked about that.
Come on, come on. There's a lot of places around here. I'm sure we could use another gym.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm hoping that one. But we've kind of been, because we have the 400, we're about to start building that, and it doesn't make sense to have basically two in the same. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so we kind of want to repurpose the 400 to be a little bit more of our adventure overland vehicle for 2021, and then start a build process on something exciting in the future.
Yeah.
For bigger, longer hauls. I have a bucket list trip for me was I want to drive from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Ocean. So like to do something like that, I think it would need to be a little bit
Ford Ranger.
No, I think he wants to make it though. I don't think he wants to break down.
If you want to do something epic, you need an epic vehicle. Let me introduce you to the Ford Ranger.
if you want to make it and all you want to do is put gas, how about a Frontier, baby? There you go. I don't know you'll make it.
I don't know. We'll see.
We should do a show comparing the Tacoma, the Ranger, and the Frontier.
We talked about it. We talked about it when I got the Ford about like once he got his lift and get someone with a Gen 3 Tacoma and like I'll do like
we had the opportunity. That was the Kessel run, and my shoulder, I can't make it. And then I don't know, was that your truck that had shoulder issues, or you had shoulder issues? But my truck was out there killing it.
I heard that it was. I didn't see it.
You did.
I didn't see it.
I know you must have.
I didn't see it. But yeah, we talked about it, like getting someone a Gen 3 Tacoma, the Ford, and the Frontier, all on similar suspension with similar wheel setups, just to do like our own 0 to 60 test and run it. Because we've long had the position that, and based on what we've seen with Matt's truck, and now my brother has the Frontier, I own the Tacoma, and now I have the Ranger, is that the differences are so minute. It's so much about personal taste, personal preference. But if you go out for 99% of the wheeling and adventuring that we're going to do, you could pick any one of those vehicles and not miss a beat. Like, it's maybe the Ford has more acceleration and speed than the other two, and maybe the Ford's more comfortable than the other two. maybe the Ford looks better than the other two.
Maybe it has overheating problems, and it doesn't like sand.
No, only that one time.
It didn't have a chance to do it again.
Shoulder
problems.
Mine sure doesn't either.
What's that?
My truck doesn't like sand either, though.
No, so this was, we were out in the dunes, and Jose said, I wonder how it would do in two-wheel drive. So I put it in two-wheel drive and ran it, like floored it so hard that the turbo overheated, and I ended up with a Ford, like the turbo would shut down. All the Christmas trees came on, and I literally had to drive from the sand dune back to camp in two-wheel drive with a 4-cylinder pushing the Ranger because the turbo wouldn't kick in, and it was fun. It was like, don't stop because I'll never get back out. But so we got back to camp. We disconnected the battery for 10 minutes, put it back on. Everything was fine. It was just I just pushed it too hard.
Those little EcoBoosts are pretty solid little motors, though, man.
Look, I am just today. I had a text conversation with someone that was asking about. I've gotten 25 people send me the V8 Jeep. So
if you like fuse boxes, if you like a lot of fuse boxes,
yes,
the Ford Ranger.
The Ford has like 3 fuse boxes with 400 fuses in each one. So stock up. That's what I'm saying. But I love my truck. I love my truck. But I think, when you look at we'll say the 4 in the category, the Ranger, the Colorado, the Frontier, and the Tacoma, whatever you can get, man, whatever's your personal preference,
you can't go wrong with
you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
They each have their own nuances. You kind of mentioned comfort in the Tacoma, which was a big drawback for me. Like, I didn't feel comfortable in the Tacoma. I'm 6'3", 210 pounds. I know what
6'3".
You couldn't even let me have that one. You couldn't let me have it for 5 seconds.
Bro, even you were believing that bullshit that you said.
Okay, so I'm 5'9", 210 pounds.
215.
Whatever. It's all math. But yeah, that was the big drawback for me was the comfort level. So the 4Runner that has been primarily Jackie's rig, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to turn that into a kind of an all-purpose adventure vehicle?
Yeah, she actually came up with the name for it. We're going to call it the balance build. So that, we're because there's an audience, and I don't do everything specifically off of that, but if I can be educational or whatever, then obviously I want to try to do that. So the Tacoma's got every part in the world known to man on it. It's, I'm over $75,000 invested in this thing. So that's not practical for everybody. So I guess the regular Joe, if you will, or the weekend lander can't, and that doesn't make sense to build something like that if it's not going to be every single day purpose built and used. So the 4Runner, we're calling it the balance build, or Jackie came up with that name, where it's going to be as capable, but with the minimal amount of things bolted to it as possible. And primary goal is to keep it as light as possible. Mm-hmm. Tacoma is extremely heavy. It's the only thing that's not steel is the front bumper. So it's very heavy. I've gone through 4 different types of suspension on it. I've had it just you constantly have to modify things for, you know, one for the load, two for the off-road ability while it's loaded. You know, unloaded, loaded is two different things. You know, there's an easy 700 pounds of constant weight on the rear of the truck. You know, so all the things go into factor. So when we want to do the 4Runner, it's going to have a very capable suspension. We're going to go with Icon again. A Stage 8, you know, Icon vehicle dynamics, you know, the build upper arms, bypass front and rear bump stops, because everything rides on that. You know, and that I think no matter what, who you are, you need to have the foundation set, and that's the suspension. You know, for body roll, safety, performance, handling, the whole 9 yards. And then all aluminum skid plates front to rear, so the belly will be all protected underneath with aluminum versus steel, which is 65 to 70 pounds versus 200 like on the Tacoma.
Yeah, and you know what? If I can stop you there, that's one thing. Like I when I had the Tacoma, I put all the steel, all the stuff on it, and honestly, that came down to a budget decision. Like the aluminum was more expensive. But when at the end of it, when I looked at when I could feel how heavy that truck was, and the amount of additional wear and tear on my tires, the additional gas, the additional wear and tear on the suspension, I would have been better off spending the extra $100 on the aluminum. Like if I go with any body other than the right now the rock sliders are metal. I wanted those being solid steel. But if those have to be sealed. The white knuckle rock sliders are awesome on that truck. But if I were to go to aftermarket bumpers or racks or any of that stuff, I would wait until I could afford aluminum just for the weight.
Dude, 100%, man. That's usually when people ask me, should I do steel or aluminum? I'm like, man, save weight anywhere you can.
Yeah.
You know, like the back bumper on my Tacoma, it's the high clearance cutouts, dual swing outs. And that back bumper is 225 pounds with a 40-foot and 80-pound wheel and tire column on the back.
Yeah.
You know, and so like the Tacoma's got 75,000 miles on it now, and I've gone through both side axle bearings, which are $5 a piece, just so you guys know, in case you wanted to know that.
No. I don't change axle bearings.
And you know what?
Trade that shit in.
You should,
it's time for a new car.
You should know better, because Jose probably would have just, as regular maintenance, would have replaced them like every 5,000
Based on our conversation last week, Jose has like 3 of those in his glove box just to be safe. That's how. So we decided that's how Toyotas run forever, because Jose replaces every part once a month.
I do have spare races and wheel bearings in my toolbox.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's just because it's so heavy that, you know, that Tacoma wasn't engineered to have 2,000 pounds of added weight on it all the time. It just wasn't engineered to be that way, you know? So the 4Runner, I'm taking everything that I've learned and, you know, making it still do the things and go to the places that I want to go, but keeping it practical, you know. So good suspension, you know, Nexon tires, Icon wheels, aluminum skid plates. We're not going to do a rear bumper in the back. I don't think it's necessary on a 4Runner. You know, I'm not going to do a full-size spare like I have on the Tacoma, one size, you know, or 2 inches difference for just to get off of a trail. Stock spare is totally fine. And then we're going to do a low-pro front bumper versus a full replacement. So again, we're keeping everything just light and tight.
Yeah.
You know, so
and there's
and of course.
So to plug
it's like that term describes me exactly.
Yeah, light and tight.
Light and tight.
You're talking about me.
We call Matt light and tight all the time.
Light and tight, Dieterly.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it on the job site?
You don't know what they say on the job site. Why do you think I had to go to the office?
Oh man,
you didn't make out a bumper sticker.
Oh, light and tight. So going back to light and tight. So the team at Baja Forged. I don't know if you've seen some of the work that they do, but their bumper right now they have it for the Ranger. But it's it hits on the same notes that you're talking about, where it's tubular, it's light, it's got protection for skid plates, like that kind of style. After the experience of having the heavy bumpers, I think like that's the direction I want to go. The light, clean lines, just functional.
Yeah, you know, and I think, man, you know, this is might offend some people out there, and I'm guilty of it too, as I'm talking about myself. But like when I first started building this Tacoma, it's like, oh, that dude's got it, so I need that part too, you know. And so like that's not the case, man. I mean, you can almost do you can have a great time with a stock vehicle.
Yeah.
You know,
Matt did it for like 2 years.
Matt was running the stock Frontier for 2 years before.
Kicking the shit out of everybody.
Yeah. Well, and another point to that, Chase, is I think for me, like when I had the Tacoma, I was combing through pictures and I was like, I like the way that looks. And I purchased bumpers and stuff to achieve the look I was looking for, not thinking about the downline effects of the weight and the profile and of the other things. I mean, that's that's learning experience. That's one of those things where if I had to do it all over again. And so once I got to that point, I got rid of the truck and started all over again.
Yep, same, man. I mean, one thing, I put dual batteries in the Tacoma, which sit right behind the front headlight. That's 115 pounds of batteries in the front nose.
Damn.
You know, and so like coilover, you know, I've had to replace the coilover twice. You know, I had to put a heavier spring. It's just there's just like you said earlier, there's a lot more wear and tear and stuff when you add that weight. You know, whereas on the Foreigner we just did it one Group 31, so the battery's like 8 pounds heavier than the stock battery.
Yeah.
You know, but yet I got twice the capacity. You know, that should have been a smarter move on the Tacoma to save that extra, 50 pounds or whatever, you know. And so those little things is what I'm just really focusing on for the next, not even the Foreigner, but the next couple things I do, you know. So.
Do you have an idea of where you want to go after the Tacoma gets sold? Like, are you going down the VW Bug line or like a PT Cruiser or what's?
No, it's probably going to be a blue oval.
Okay.
I'm really digging what Ford's doing. They've been around for a very long time, and I'm a gearhead, man. There is no perfect car or perfect manufacturer. I went to school to fix cars, so I can talk about it a little bit. So,
well, that'll help you out if you're going blue oval.
Oh yeah, dude, you're going in the
come
right
in handy.
direction.
Oh man, they're good. Good for you.
Master mechanic. You need to be a master mechanic to own a Ford.
When you go to the Ford dealership, they ask to see your ASC card.
Your ASC certification.
Certified, yeah. I actually used to be ASC certified in 5 different areas. Expired.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had 5 ASCs out of the 8, so that gives you a little bit of.
Well, then you're good, dude. You're good. You'll be good.
Yeah, I'll be good. So I really, really, really like the Bronco, man. I think the Bronco is an incredible machine. I've had an opportunity to look at it. I've had an opportunity to sit in it. I've had an opportunity to ride in it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because that's one of the things that I caught on your social media is you were doing the walk around of the Bronco. You have had more hands-on experience with the Bronco than anybody else I know. What's your gut tell you?
Dude, honestly, man, like Ford nailed it with the Bronco. They nailed it. So, from just a pure price point, and everyone, that's kind of I talked about the Bronco 1,000 times on my social media because everyone's seen me posting it. But everyone's, it's so expensive. A fully spec'd out Bronco on 35s, locked front and rear with the proper gearing to turn those tires is $61,000. Oh my God, that's a lot of money. I got $75,000 invested in Tacoma, and that Bronco will walk circles.
Dude, a Honda Pilot right now, mid-range is like $40,000.
Yeah. So what's a Rubicon Gladiator?
A diesel. So check this out, dude. A diesel Gladiator Rubicon is like $65,000.
Yeah. I mean, that's
on 33.
On 30. Yeah. That's what. The unfortunate piece is that's what things cost. I just had this conversation with my nephew. He and I were having a conversation about, he's like, well, what if I did this? I was like, dude, you have to come to the conclusion that at some point that things cost what they cost. You may get a good deal, but things cost what they cost. And when it comes to vehicles, unfortunately for us as a consumer, that's what they cost. The benefit.
Were you trying to get my kid to buy a Bronco?
No.
Is that what you were just saying?
That was your other nephew.
Oh, God, please.
Casey's kid.
That's what I get for leaving him here.
Saturday. Yeah, he came home with blue hair. One of them came home with blue hair. We'll have that conversation later. But it is unfortunate that price is going up. But the flip side of that is
it's never been a better time to be an off-roader.
There's more options, and there's never been a time in the 30 years that I've been wheeling that you could go buy something off the lot and go hit the gnarliest trail in Big Bear and not even think about it. Like, that was never a thing. It was, okay, I buy it. I can't do anything with it until I get it lifted or get the tires on it. That's not the case anymore. Companies like Jeep and Ford and Chevy with the Colorado and the Pro 4X, they're making it so you're paying $65, but you're done. You don't spend another dime. I'm sorry, $65,000, but don't spend another dime to
you don't have to. But yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Adam about this exact conversation. Like it's like, yeah, the trucks are more capable than ever now, and like they're super, segment specific, but the prices like rule out like 90% of the people that can buy them. If you go in for the top end ones.
Yeah, which absolutely. The price is prohibitive to a lot of people.
Right.
But here's what I think they do. So that Bronco rolls off the line and everybody sees that thing going down.
You mean like on its wheels, right? Not like it tumbled over or something.
Yes. So the Bronco goes out and kicks the shit out of the closest Nissan Frontier. And then that trickles down, though. Like, people see that and go,
right.
I want...
Most people, like, with the base Bronco, they'll be like, oh, dude, I have a Bronco.
Yes. There's a $65,000 Bronco. I see that on the trail. They go to the dealership and go, okay, well, I can't afford that one or that one or that one. I'll take this one. And that gets them into the sport. And that gets them off-roading. And that gets the brand out there. And eventually, those people will get to the point where they say, I'm going to spend the money and get that.
At least I'm telling you, I spent 10 years selling cars. I mean, that's exactly how the process works.
See, I'm a car sales genius.
You should have been a car
salesman. I'm a car scientist.
Like when the Hellcat came out with Dodge, I managed a Jeep store for almost 10 years, and everyone come, I want the Demon or the Hellcat. Like, all right, cool, it's $75,000. Oh shit, that's the key. You know what I mean? And I drive home in a V6 Challenger, and totally psyched about it.
Can we make it sound like the Hellcat?
Can you just put the stickers? Can you give me some stickers to put on the side?
My brother bought a Hellcat a couple months ago. I got to drive it last month. The most
insane, right?
Mark this down. Fucking insane thing I've ever driven in my life. It is insane. It's stupid fast.
They're nuts.
Yeah.
I would die, dude. I would die with that much.
Yes, you would.
I would die.
But yeah, so I mean that makes sense. You know, you go in there, it's like that draw.
Yeah.
Like, I want that cat, that wicked looking cat emblem on the side.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the thing, you're actually starting to think about it. Well, how about I just buy the V6 and then get that little Hellcat emblem and stick it on afterwards?
Yeah. I can't tell how many times people come in and steal the 392 with the SRT badges off of our cars.
Oh,
dude.
We go out to the lot and the sales guy's like, hey, man, we got 20 challenges out there that's missing emblems. Bitch. Again,
That wasn't me. I didn't do any of those just because I
thought
thought
your hate mail to Matt at trailchasers.net.
I don't even. I mean, I would put. I could stick them on my Frontier. That'd be pretty sweet. That's got to be worth at least 100 horsepower.
And then you could get those 3 ovals that you put on the side that look like you have side exhaust coming out this engine bay.
Ooh,
yeah.
Keeping those EGTs down now.
EGTs?
Exhaust gas temperature.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. Well, dude. So possibly a Bronco in the future.
Possibly a Bronco. If not, if I
Ranger, dude. Go on the Ranger.
Well, no, I'm thinking like extended cab, short bed, F-250 on 40s.
I mean, yeah. It's not a Ranger though.
You're right. It's not a Ranger.
Yeah.
We know a guy. We know a guy that has an F-250. I don't know if he's in the chat room right now.
Oh yeah, he is.
We have we know a guy that has an F-250. I mean, trust me, you don't want to be like that, dude. You don't want to be. It's always like, hey, has anybody checked on Mark lately? Where's he at? What's he going on? In all honesty, he has an F-250 long bed and he bombs that thing. He doesn't even care. It's pretty awesome to watch him.
I'm thinking of adopting him, except it's that he owns that Ford. If he sold his Ford, I would adopt him as like my
your protege.
My protege.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Mark's your protege. That's funny. But yeah. I think going back, you made a comment earlier about Ford being around a long time. Obviously, around a long time, but also since the Raptor rolled out, they have really made a dedicated push towards the off-road community, and I think that will, the Ranger followed suit, and I think that will culminate in the Bronco, and they will have, between those 3 vehicles, they will have a stable of off-road, out-the-door off-road vehicles that will compete with anything else in the market.
Yeah, I just think that they're really doing a good job of listening and tailoring to the actual enthusiast, and by doing so, then they're going to be able to switch the non-enthusiasts to the base models. And
I think all the brands right now they're listening to the audience more than ever. Like Look at
Yes.
Jeep. Look at Jeep
That's
tomorrow.
awesome.
They're gonna release that V8 Jeep tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about, and I think that
Sure they will.
no, dude, it's
happening.
it's out.
Okay.
It's a thing. We'll talk about it because we've talked about before about the Bronco. For so long, the Toyota Tacoma didn't have to worry. There was no one coming after him. The Jeep didn't have to worry because no one was coming after him.
Right.
With what Ford has done with the Ranger and Nissan with the Frontier, that's pushing Toyota now. They're now, and even the Chevy Colorado,
the full size trucks now.
Yes,
like,
and the difference in actual physical size of the midsize versus the full size is so minimal now that you can almost lump all of them together. So now the Tacoma, Toyota needs to do something.
Yeah. They're so far behind, man. It's you can't deny the undeniable reliability or whatever, but they're so far behind. And like Toyota's been like that for decades. They'll wait till the very last second, take what everybody's doing, learn from it, and then they usually come out with something that's awesome.
Yeah.
But unfortunately that weird brand loyalty people kind of missed the boat because somebody like me that obviously likes Toyota but is ready sort of now. Well, the new Tacoma's not going to be until 2022, so I'm not going to wait 2 years where I can't sell my truck anymore.
Yeah.
Or not get anything for it, So they might lose a customer for a 5-year period. You know what I mean? So, which is part of it, but it is what it is.
What's crazy?
Definitely got to be something.
If you think about the new Frontiers coming out next year, Toyota's going to be the old moldy busted truck on the block.
That's right.
They're going to be playing catch up.
Yeah,
they're going to be running last.
If Toyota listening, I'm more than glad to take one of those old moldy
busted
Tacomas.
old Tacomas.
Yeah,
I like old tacos.
I like old old pizza,
greasy old tacos.
But you're right. That is interesting. That Toyota will be the oldest model next year after with the Chevy, the Ranger, the Frontier, and then going back to the Bronco. Jeep has been happy. There's nobody has been able to push that 4-door, since the JK came out in 07, no one has come near that 4-door sport utility top off market. Like that was theirs. They owned it. They could crap out an iterative turd and everybody would still buy it. And now they're going to get pushed.
What kind of turd?
An iterative turd. So it's just the next iteration of the last turd.
Don't get me wrong. I spent a lot of time around a lot of Jeeps because I sold them. So Wrangler is super capable car, but they are not the most comfortable thing for distance.
No,
and I think that's where Ford really has nailed it. They took away the solid axle like it used to have. However, long term and comfort, it's still got the capability, but that car is going to be a lot. It's way roomier than the Wrangler inside.
Yeah, that was the big thing about. Sorry to cut you off, but before I bought the Tacoma, I was looking at a Wrangler, and Tammy and I were on vacation, and we rented one, and I drove it for a week.
Yeah,
and that was the thing. I was like, I am just not comfortable in this thing, and that comes to everybody's physical comfort is different, but I did not feel comfortable driving it. I just felt almost boxed in, even more so than the TJ. And the TJ is a smaller Jeep. For some reason, that JK felt boxed into me, and so that's when I started looking at the Tacoma, and I ended up with that. But then again, Ford even more so has comfort in what it's doing. But Jose and I talked about it right when we sat down. Come Q2 of next year, everybody and their mother's going to have a Bronco. It's going to be a Bronco parade everywhere.
Oh yeah. And there's going to be clubs. Oh man, it's going to be crazy.
It is going to be insane. I mean, I think the problem's going to be getting.
But if all the malls are closed, where are these Broncos going to be driven? That's really depends on the economy coming back and COVID
and the vaccine. And so Ford is really banking on that vaccine so they can fill up those parking structures at the mall. Is that what's happening?
Probably.
But yeah, I do think it's, the hard part is going to be getting your hands on one come next year. But it's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be with the Bronco,
The TRX.
The TRX, the new Frontier, this new V8 Jeep. As much as the world is in disarray right now, if you're an off-road enthusiast, save up your bucks, dude, because it's going to
sell your house, or stop making payments. It doesn't matter.
Whatever. Nobody's. I agree with Jose. I'm in agreement with you.
Stop making that mortgage payment. Just buy a new Bronco or something.
Yeah.
Nobody's making their payments right now, anyways. It's ridiculous. But I'm excited to see what you end up with, and I'm assuming that like a lot of the other things that you do, it's going to be like a very public build and process, and
Yeah, I want to, the 400, because the Tacoma was sort of like a 3-year progression of what it's evolved into. The 400, I mean, I've got pretty much all the parts, on pallets right now, and it's in my storage. So that's going to be a very documented build process, kind of leading up to like the ultimate build process. So taking really tailoring to what people want to see, and I don't necessarily want to do like how-tos or tutorials, I guess, just because I think those get boring, but more of just talking about this is why we went with this for this reason. Here's a rough like cinematic installation of it. And if you want to do it, just Google how to, and like somebody else's video will pop up. But I don't really want to do like install videos.
But I think you touch on an important piece there, like and I'm an analysis guy, is sitting down and saying, okay, everybody, these were the options. Here's the options. This is why I chose this option, because I think that's the biggest hurdle for people. It's deciding what to go with.
Yeah. And why?
Yeah, why?
So why should I choose this one over this one?
Correct. And especially for someone that's newer, they don't know the difference between X brand and Y brand, this type versus that type. Having someone with mechanical experience that's done it before, has spent $75,000 building up a truck, and is now taking that experience into the next build. It's that's the type of thing where someone will go, okay, I just bought the Bronco. This guy did this, and I like the way it looks and the way it came out. It makes sense to me. I'm going to go down that path. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I low-key do some consulting on the side. I have a doctor that he has a 2013 Raptor, and he was like, hey, man, I want to travel with my truck. What kind of suspension wheels and tires and rack, whatever. We built this whole entire Overland build for him. Or, he had it built. I just told him what to get. But like when somebody asked me, like, hey, should I get the same suspension as you? Usually I follow with like, well, that varies, because I don't know who you are. I don't know where you live. I don't know what type of terrain you're going to be putting yourself into. Are you a weekend guy? Are you a 7 days a week kind of guy? Are you going to be on the coast? Or,
how much gear do you carry? Do you take the whole Bass Pro Shop with you in the back of the truck?
Yeah, so I usually will dig and like
it's Cabela's out there.
Not to overbuy, because that's usually what everybody tends to think that you have to do, but just to get adequate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To fit that purpose for that build, or that person.
Or even say, look, here, you need to get to at least here to be able to do what you want to do. You could get to here to do it and push it, or here's the insane amount. You've got nothing but money, so go ahead and spend this. You know what I mean? There's always that range, and fortunately, a lot of the products, like the Icon stuff, you can cascade that. You can start and then add on and build and grow. So as you start pushing your vehicle, you can go, well, I want to bump it up a little bit. Man, I'm excited for that. I think does anybody know? Do you know when the Bronco is actually going to be available to drive off a lot?
I think they said like June of 2021.
Is it really that far out? Man,
I think it's going to be a little sooner than that.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'd heard.
I thought it got pushed. It got pushed out, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
I was told Q2.
Okay.
So end of Q2.
It's just funny talking about pushing Broncos. Right?
That's too easy, dude.
I didn't. There was no joke there. I just said it. You guys laughed.
Oh, jackass.
I know that they did push it back a little bit. I mean, it could be June, but last I was, I talked to some of the Ford guys, and they were pushing for Q2. So we'll see. I'm not a Ford dude.
I think me and Matt destroyed all our Ford future product.
Yeah.
When we talk to the person at Hammers.
Even if there was an opportunity for us to do anything with Ford, you weren't standing there when this happened, Chase. So we're standing at the campfire. We're standing near a campfire.
I'm an idiot.
With
we are,
Sarah and Teresa from LGECTS and Baja Forged, and there's this another lady standing right there next to him. These two Heckle and Jekyll come up and just start blasting Ford. What a piece of crap the Ford is, and my Ford Ranger and my shit. Blah 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 blah. And then Teresa's like, "Oh, I'd like you to meet so and so. She's the marketing coordinator for Ford." And I was like, "You sons of bitches! Like I cannot." It was. I was like trying to cover my hat and my shirt, like, and walk away.
You should have walked away.
So whoever that lady was, I apologize on behalf, and I have actually purchased a Ford Ranger with my hard-earned money.
Hey, look, there's a lot of whiskey being consumed that weekend. All right,
there was moonshine.
There's moonshine.
Confirmed. There was moonshine.
Did you partake in the moonshine around the campfire at Hammers?
Who, me?
Yes.
No, I didn't have any shine, man. I just had some whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you saw it, though.
I did see it.
So
that's when somebody else from the other corner of the camp
Yeah.
came over and was like, "Hey, we're
moonshine.
trying." No, somebody else came over and was like, "We're trying to sleep. What are you doing here then?"
We're not. Yeah.
you are in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I don't know.
We were making
Try
so much
Hammertown.
noise in the desert.
Shoot, I could not have been farther away in my tent from where you guys were, because everybody congregated to Chase and Jackie's truck in the back corner, and I was at the very front corner. And at 2:00 in the morning, I could hear every single word you guys were saying. Like I could have sat there in a chair and laughed at the jokes. Like it was ridiculous. So speaking of which. It looks as though that
there's talks.
So there's conversations that the Trail Chaser podcast might be coordinating a Hammered Town group outing this coming February at Johnson Valley during Hammertown. Are you? This is literally,
sir?
So literally, this was like a conversation last week with Brian from Air Down, and Matt suggested that we start Hammered Town, and I created a logo for Hammered Town for the shirts, sent it to Matt and Jose.
Crickets.
They completely ignored me again because they're fucking assholes. Let me write that down.
How about I didn't like that logo? It's Hammered Town. There was like hammers.
Okay.
Dude, it should be like beer bottles or something.
Okay.
Zimas.
Yeah.
I'm welcome to constructive criticism, but ignoring me hurts my feelings.
Here's your criticism. Get ready for
Fuck that
construction.
Yeah.
Man, F bombs are flying.
So are you saying we're throwing down a group for?
So that conversation happened last week, and then Jose and I sit down. We started having a conversation just today, and
there are a lot of there's a lot of groups that want something to happen at Hammers. Like they just want to get together.
Something good or bad?
Just
something.
want
well,
something.
it depends. Are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Okay, then bad.
Somebody just has to take the lead and
so with that, just literally like 30 seconds ago, I made the decision that we may be coordinating an event.
Best decisions ever.
On the fly without my wife knowing it's happening. But something very, very similar to what we did last year. Depending because I don't know. I don't know exactly what the some of our sponsors are planning for Hammers, but. Are you interested in joining us in the dirt in February?
I'm down.
Okay.
Say when.
Oh,
know when, but yeah, I'm in.
All right, so that's at least two people that are willing to join us now.
House party.
So
yeah.
So
no, there's no after party. The whole time is going to be a party.
Hey, can we start Hammertown like in December?
Yeah.
It's like Oktoberfest. He actually start partying in September.
It's not
late August. Like screw it, I can't wait.
I can't
wait for Oktoberfest.
It's not Hammerspringer. It's like another 2 weeks. How long is Rumspringer? Isn't it like
2 months or
2
something?
months? It's Hammerspringer.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds sounds
You don't know
like a
what
good time.
Rumspringa is?
Is that like the that's not Mormon thing?
The
It's
Amish. The Amish go on a 2-month hiatus to explore the world and do whatever they want to do. They can do anything they want to do and decide if they want to come back.
And they never come
They
back.
never come back. So Hammerspringa, maybe so we'll have some conversations in the background. I enjoy planning those kinds of things. You know, we've got the winter expedition coming up in December, and I like putting together those kinds of things. And so maybe we'll do some coordination with some people and put together something for Hammertown this coming February and get people like you guys involved, because that was just a damn good time.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. That was probably one of the funnest things I've done, actually.
Yeah.
Even my wife was like, "That was fucking awesome."
Oh man, there's no way you're gonna edit all these.
Dude,
F-bombs.
I literally
there's no way.
1, 2, 3,
Just
4.
put the E on the. This is easier.
This is the most explicit episode of this show ever, Chase. You're a bad influence.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe I will just do the E on the episode and do a disclaimer at the beginning, because I got to try to find all these. Well, dude, look, we've been fans of yours for a long time, and we are
Likewise,
digging.
man, likewise.
We're digging what you guys are doing, and I am very, very excited about what your next adventure is. Both with the 4Runner, because you know I think a lot of people have the 4Runner that would be interested in seeing it be built for a balanced build. You know, I think that's a great idea. Kudos to you, Jackie. And then the next step of taking whatever vehicle you end up with in the near future and building that up. You know, it would be awesome if you had that by Hammers, but I don't think logistically that would be that's a possibility. We'll see that 4Runner out there rocking it in the desert, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. We could. Something else could happen. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm telling you, the Ranger is available. You can get that thing right now. Like you can.
Why does everybody laugh? Your Ranger is
Your
available?
Ranger selling?
Are you saying you want to swap his Tacoma for your Ranger right now?
No, I would not do that. I would not do that at all. But if he wants to buy my Ranger.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, that's the correct response.
You guys suck. I already have self-esteem issues. You guys are hurting me. So anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Look, dude, seriously, we enjoy talking to you. You guys, you and Jackie are great. We hope we get to connect again in February at Hammers. Between now and then, keep us up to date, man. Keep us up to date with what's going on,
yeah.
and you know we will be watching your social and stay connected to what you guys are doing. And I wish you guys a crap ton of success with the gym. Again, I'm super impressed with what you guys have accomplished so far. I think you guys are going to do fantastic things in the future. So, anything else? Where should people go to check you guys out if they haven't already started following you?
Man, the easiest way to find anything that we're doing is just through my Instagram. It's adventure.overland. In the bio is my Linktree link. There's a ton of discounts with food, with clothing, tactical gear. You can find our gym there. You can find my YouTube there. Everything that has anything to do with me, that is my digital business card. So adventure.overland on Instagram, bio for my link.
And that's only half of it, because Jackie's got her whole other enterprise on her side of it. Jackie's just as active as you are on social media, so there's a whole nother half of the Gentry family.
She's got a big bodybuilding show next month, actually.
She's been working hard. I hope she's. Look, if it were me, I would tell her just eat a cheeseburger. Like it's not worth it. Like just have a taco.
She's super dedicated.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm almost about to stop following her because I feel so shitty while I'm eating my Doritos. Like I'll be munching on popcorn and be like, man, Jackie's really hitting it hard right now. Like, just like if you want to see what it's like to be a dedicated fitness person, go follow Chase's wife. She's it's ridiculous, and it makes me feel bad about myself every time I see it.
Same. It makes me feel inadequate.
I think that's their job. I think that's what wives are supposed to do. That's how they.
Keep us on our toes.
Yes, for sure. My wife is right there. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. It's been a long conversation, but a lot of fun as usual. Looking forward to connecting with you guys soon, and we'll talk to you soon. You have a great night.
Likewise, guys.
All right, we will end the recording there at 1:25. Yeah, the hammers thing. I haven't had any feedback from
live stream is still going. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying I haven't had any feedback from the sponsors as to whether or not there's an actual event going, but we've made the comment that regardless of we will be there somehow. So if
probably the same spot we camped
at.
Yeah.
So if there's no like sanctioned event by one of our sponsors, maybe we'll pull together a group like similar to what we had last time and open it up to some there's been a couple podcasts that we've talked about having out there with us and for example Brian from Air Down last week talked about going out. So we've been able to connect with enough people in the community to where I think everybody, there's a lot of people planning on going to Hammers anyways. So if we just said, hey, let's all kind of meet here, I think we could create a pretty large group outside of Hammertown. So we'll keep you informed as that comes up. I'm sure we'll be talking between now and then.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let me know. I'm in.
Okay, cool.
Awesome, dude. Thanks.
All right. Well, then we'll let you go for the night. We're going to continue on with a little bit of conversation before we wrap it up. And thanks for joining us, man. And I'll shoot you an email in a couple days with all the details for the release, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Sounds good, guys. Have a good night. Good talking to y'all.
You too.
You
Bye.
too. Thanks, man.
All right.
You almost did the same thing you did last week about talking about his wife, kind of creeping out her guest.
I did
Started
getting
creepy. Started getting creepy.
When do I got to jump in?
I was ready with that button.
As soon as you said Cheetos and on Instagram,
yeah, watching her work out, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I knew. I thought that was the direction he was going.
That is not what I said.
You started
dude,
ahead.
yeah.
You started to head down there, and then you hit a quick turn and you saved it.
That is not what I said. I said I was.
You were heading.
I was
you
eating
were going
Doritos
down that road,
scrolling Instagram. That's all.
Let's just say you drove by the school in the creeper van. You
didn't
stop.
You didn't stop. You kept going.
But since we're not
your
recording,
door was open.
No. So since we're not recording, or we're not gonna. This is not part of the show. I will tell you a creeper van story. When I was,
I'm sure you will.
When I was creeper. Yes. So when I was still in the field and I drove a van,
Yes.
I was doing a job at an elementary school in Long Beach, and I got there super early, and no one was there to open the gates yet. So I crawled in the back of my van, and I was like, I'll just take a nap. I laid down to take a nap. I woke up as all the kids were coming into school. And I was like, I cannot open the door to this van and step out of the back of this van.
Why not?
While all these, so I literally just laid there in my van for 20 minutes waiting for.
That's weirder than just going about your day, dude.
No, I felt like it would have been super weird for me to step out in front of this elementary school out of the back of my van, rubbing my eyes like I just woke up.
That's true.
So I just laid there and waited till all the kids were in class and school was started before I stepped out of the van because I was not going to get that phone call. That's my creeper van story.
It was pretty mild. I was expecting worse.
What?
I mean, you're pretty creepy. That should come up with something super creepy.
You suck. All right. Couple more minutes of conversation. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, so I got about 6 text messages today with a link to the V8 Jeep notification.
Yeah.
I got another 4 text messages with the drop of the Foo Fighters album, but I'm sure you guys don't want to talk about that.
Nope.
So the V8 Jeep thing is it's a thing. Like when they dropped it after the Bronco thing, we kind of questioned whether or not it was a thing.
It wasn't when they dropped it right after the Bronco thing. I'm like, dude, they're going for it. They're not. There's no way they could have. Why would they tease that? Like,
well, my honest opinion was it was going to be similar to like every year at Easter Jeep Safari, the Jeep Underground. They do those concept vehicles that are super super cool, and they rarely make it to production.
Yeah, but the thing is every like Easter Jeep Safari, right? They have those prototype Jeeps out there in Moab every year, and they always have something from those prototype Jeeps.
Yeah, no, there's a reason for them.
Yeah,
but they don't fully make it to production.
No, but there's always at least something from those concept Jeeps that make it into the production line.
Yes, agreed. So I don't know. I think all of for me.
So did they have like that's how they do it now is there's like a video montage of Jeeps kicking ass.
I think tomorrow,
isn't whatever.
The official.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, the official launch is tomorrow, but they've been showing social media
Did
videos.
they hire Alex Jones to come out? Always
Black helicopters.
Selling his wares. And then, to talk about.
Do you need apocalypse buckets of food?
Yeah, exactly. Or it's colloidal silver or some shit. Like, I don't know.
It's his,
whatever
it's
he
his
sells.
vitamins. It's his,
I hear stories, or I know of Alex Jones because Howard has a guy that does an impression of him, and it's hilarious.
Fred?
I don't know who it is, but it's a whole thing. Like, you just got to listen to it. So I don't know. He sells a bunch of funky stuff, and did they get him to come out? Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, are they going to have a promotional video that's
just like
super
the Bronco,
well produced?
Yeah.
Get y'all pumped. Show you the emblems that you want to steal off the side of it.
Yeah, well, they've had a handful of mini clips of actually starting Sunday, I think.
It was Sunday.
Mini clips of Jeep, driving through the desert all super fast, and it's coming, and those kinds of teaser things. So it says the V8 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 is coming to production. This is just.
What do you think price point is going to be at, dude?
Well, the diesel's 65. A V8's going to be 75.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gonna be 70.
You think it's gonna be 75 grand?
70 grand.
I mean, who knows at this point, dude?
Did you just squeeze out a light F
I said
right
pho.
there? Did you? Okay.
Vietnamese food.
Which is okay. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. The
70. You think it's gonna start at 75? I mean, I don't. You know what, dude? Who knows? At this
Where's
point,
this money coming?
Yeah,
where's this money? Like,
I just want to. I'm not even hating on the guy that buys it. I just want to know what the guy does for a living.
Exactly.
And are they hiring?
Yeah, and are they
Exactly.
hiring? That way I can
Okay.
buy a $70,000 Jeep,
God, man. Yeah, I feel like a loser. Like, damn, dude.
Bro,
I
look
had
at
a-
my truck.
At least yours is from this century.
Exactly.
That's true.
I have
Jose's
a
truck is a
post-
century. It's like a century old.
Last millennia truck, dude.
All right. So
So maybe 65. So maybe the Rubicon is 55, 60, and then
You'll think-
at 65
what's
you
the-
could get either the diesel or the V8.
Or there has to be, or it's probably going to be available on different upper trims, like the
Yeah, Rubicon.
Rubicon only.
I would think so.
Okay, then there's probably going to be like a $10,000 or $15,000 upcharge for that motor.
Yeah, I think reasonably. That's I mean it's not going to be cheap. You know what I mean? So, but go back to the late 70s, early 80s. The CJ5 and the CJ7 came with a V8.
Yeah, but it was just a giant boat anchor.
Yeah, but it was a crap ton of power in that tiny little vehicle
For the time.
for the power to weight ratio on that tiny little Jeep with a V8 was phenomenal.
Right.
And then fuel economy and all the things, right? So, the idea of having a V8 Jeep, practically speaking, you will never need it on the trail.
No. No.
That realistically, like
well, wouldn't you want like the diesel thing? Kind of makes sense because you want
Yes.
torque, right? You
Yes.
want to be able to turn bigger wheels.
yeah,
So like a V8 kind of seems counter. You're gonna spin those wheels potentially.
You get torque. You get a ton of torque on that V8, but it's just at a higher
band.
power band.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine, other than Baja and dunes, if you want to do 70 miles an hour, which at that point now you're limited by the suspension. Even a six-cylinder Wrangler is limited by the suspension and body geometry, drivetrain geometry, more so than the power. It could go faster if it could stay stable.
Look, I saw Joe K doing 80 miles an hour, and I was scared for him in that thing. I was like, dude, slow down. That thing's probably not designed for that. We want to keep the wheels on, and coast your way off the freeway.
Didn't he do that?
That
last
was
time?
great, dude. That was a great. I thought you were talking about 80 miles an hour on the trail, and I was like,
I was talking about Joe on the freeway. Like, dude, please slow down. It doesn't look safe for you. You're in a Wrangler.
Yeah. I
Death wobble, bro.
How did you get up to the speed? Who did you draft? Like,
A semi, dude.
yeah, Optimus Prime. I don't know. Somebody going fast.
the WJ had a V8.
Yeah.
So, and it felt great to have. Trust me, I loved having the power, the grunt, but I could have done everything I did with the 6-cylinder. You know what I mean? It's I don't know that the V8
Well, it's just excess, dude.
correct. I don't know that the V8 is going to provide any additional trail
Capabilities.
capabilities, but it's going to be cool to have. It'll be a super cool vehicle
And those
to have.
guys that put 40s on, that they're gonna love that extra power.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
Oh, for sure. If you're going to go big, if you're going to go 40s, yeah, absolutely. But we know a couple people that roll 40s on their JK now, and we've never left them behind. You know what I mean? Like even on the freeway, you know, once it's re-geared and it does its thing. That's not to say that I'm like poo-pooing the idea of a V8 Wrangler. I would love to own a V8 Wrangler. Just if I had $65,000, I probably would buy something else though.
That's almost to that Hellcat.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
That your TRX
that
level,
TRX,
your
yeah.
TRX level at that point, you know.
do you guys ever think you'll own an off-road vehicle on 40s?
Yeah, I could see myself. So there was a period of time when we've talked about this, where I had a company truck, I had a personal truck, and then my Jeep sat in the garage, right? So I drove my company truck all day for work. I didn't have to worry about mileage. I would throw the Jeep behind the Dodge anytime we went for a long weekend trip or a week-long trip or whatever. If I was in a position where I had the toy and the daily driver and, you know, whatever, then maybe I would build it up more. But for what we do, my truck is a daily driver, just like you guys. For what we do, it doesn't make sense to put 40s on it.
No, it wouldn't be economical driving it around every day.
Now, I may find myself with a much shorter commute in the very near future. Maybe I could go 40s and not have an impact. But if I'm driving to Irvine Lake Forest regularly on 40s, that's Civic, stupid. Dude. Yeah. So I think it just depends on, God, I would love to have an old YJ, solid axle YJ with 40s
on leaf springs.
Yeah, maybe a coil conversion, but just the old school Jeep on 40s, like that would be fun.
Matt, what would you want? Like, what would be your dream off-road rig?
Man, dream off-road. You know what?
Ford
Like
Ranger.
right now, it's still like I still love my truck. To be honest with you, my truck's really fun.
Or what would you do to your truck if you could?
More horsepower.
Yeah,
I'd probably supercharge my truck,
or lighten your truck. Get the bed off. Do a fiberglass bed. Like if
pre-run that thing.
Yeah. If we're talking, okay, the Frontier's paid off. You've got another commuter vehicle. This is just your toy. My same thing with the Ranger would be fiberglass body, fiberglass front fenders, fiberglass. You know what I mean? Lighten the crap, because with that Icon suspension, those wheels, and the power I have in that Ford, the only limiting factor at this point now is my fear of shaking the thing to death. Like if we, you tube out the back, the tailgate, the bed, put fiberglass on it. Same thing with the front. Get more clearance on the front tires in the front. That thing would bomb the desert. It would bomb Glamis.
Even more so.
Yeah, even more so.
Yeah, either that or I'll tell you, like probably that TRX. I want to drive that because again, I drove my brother's car. I can't imagine having that in a truck. Oh my god!
What all the reviewers have said about that truck, it's like driving it day to day. It's not an issue. It's like it just drives like a regular truck. But then if you want to get on it, it's like when you get on it, dude, it turns into Jekyll and Hyde, like completely.
Well, and not that my 2011 Dodge Ram is anything like the TRX, but you drove that truck, and just the 2500, it was a very comfortable truck. But going up the mountain or towing or whatever, you put your foot in that thing, it was amazing how much power that truck had.
So just imagine 700 horsepower.
That's what I'm saying. Now double that.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah,
and then having heated and cooled seats, air conditioning, a
Right.
12
So
screen,
basically
all the
a
amenities.
vehicle
Yes.
from 2017. You're just not used to any of that. That's all.
No, I'm not.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, going back to your question about having a vehicle on 40s, I would love to have one vehicle on 40s. I would love to have a Baja truck.
Yeah.
I would love to have my full-size Dodge again, and I would love to have my Ranger. You know what I mean? I'd love to have a stable of vehicles. I will probably never be in a position in my life to have a stable of vehicles, so it's got to be one at a time, you know? So I think for the majority of what we do,
I think what we try to do is kind of just build something that is okay at everything, right?
Yeah.
Like we have the Swiss Army knife of off-road vehicles, or we build them that way.
Build them so they get us out for an adventure, and you know, again,
Well, I mean, having something with 40s, right? So that means you're like doing some serious rock crawling or whatever. But are you going to enjoy that thing with 40s as much in the desert, like, you know, doing the Mojave? I mean, Mojave's kind of a bad example, but you know,
I think what you're saying is if you, in order to there's a balance.
You're committing very heavily in one direction.
Correct. If you start building to a point where it's bigger for the rock crawler, are you giving up something on some of the other stuff? And I think there's always compromises. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But for what I plan on doing with the truck right now and my daily commute, the 33s is fantastic. Yeah. Lauren Healy has a Ranger that with fiberglass front fenders on 35s.
The LGE Ranger has 35s.
Yeah, I love that. Part of me wants to get there on the 35s maybe, but right now it's not practical. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So again, I still would love to have a Jeep as much as I crack jokes on them. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I wonder, does the V8 come with more lights on the dash to light up? Like when it goes bad, is a whole new different instrument cluster that's going to come on?
Pistonate broken.
That's just 2 more pistons to go bad. As much as we crack on Jeeps, I still miss it. I would
still buy one, dude.
I still love I would love to have a Jeep.
I'd love to have a Gladiator too.
So right now my thing would be like a Jeep Gladiator Rubicon, but the diesel one. I want to get those MPGs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's $65K, so
yeah, it's $65K. And Perry in the chat room says, I have to admit, after seeing some of the big Overland setups, I have full size envy.
And I always go back to that too, man.
I get it, dude. I get that because I loved my Ram, dude. I loved my truck. The amount of size, you know, Mark in his F-250, the amount of room you have, the
room, dude.
And you could carry everything in the world. But then, you guys know me. If I had that much payload, I would literally put my house in the back of the truck and go. Like I wouldn't be camping anymore. Yeah. It's, you know, I don't know. I do miss having a full size truck. Every once in a while, I'll see a Dodge Ram, and I'm like, damn, I miss having that truck. But, you know, it's just I think for most of us, we have to pick whatever it is that can do most of the things most of the time, you know, and that's kind of where I think the three of us landed, you know, within our budget, within our range of capabilities. And
well, let's be honest, if somehow I got a TRX, right, I wouldn't be on this show anymore. I'd be on like the next level show, hanging out with those people, because I'd be in another realm.
You wouldn't
like
be
another reality, you know.
You wouldn't be on the show anymore because you'd be at your second job trying to make the payment for the TRX.
Sorry, guys, I can't get the time off work. The drive-thru's super busy tonight.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I miss my full size sometimes, and
I miss the room in the F-150 was, dude. The back seat was comfier than the front seat.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, I think.
What were you doing in the back seat?
You don't want to know, dude.
I don't want to know.
Horrible,
dirty things.
Yeah,
maybe that's why the truck broke down.
Why it broke down, like, dude. I gave it
bad.
It's not made to bounce like that all the time. Well, I'm excited about the Bronco coming out. I'm excited about the new Frontier. Like we talked about earlier with Chase. I think 2021. If you've got
money
and an inclination to hit some dirt, man, it's going to be a good year. So we'll see. I got to figure out how to come into the lottery or something so I can buy all these vehicles. You know.
Well, I gotta play. I never play.
Yeah, me neither.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Me too. It just doesn't work out.
I won like I won enough to buy like the supersized combo at McDonald's. That's about what I've won.
I don't think I've ever won $1. I don't think I've ever won anything.
There was a stretch so I don't know how long ago this was, but I bought a scratcher one night, like coming home from work. I'm probably in my early 20s or something, and I won like $200. It was like, wow, I won $200. So then I played like 2 or 3 days later, won another $100, and I thought, I'm done working. I'm just doing scratchers from here on out. That's my living now. And then that was the last time I ever won anything.
Then you consecutively lost $6,000 over the next year.
Yeah, that was a 1 week stretch.
That's how they get you, dude. The guy at the back of 7-Eleven knows. He's like, oh, this is his first time. I'm going to pull from this
Get
pile.
him the hot one. That guy's going to be buying from us for 20 years.
He gets the $50 one this time. He gets all the losers after that.
Yep.
Well, hopefully you guys win the lottery. Somebody wins the lottery and can buy all these vehicles and then go off-roading with us so we can see what they're like, because we'll never be able to experience it ourselves. All right, guys. Well, Kessel Run is I'm sorry, not Kessel Run. We just did that.
It's over.
The Winter Expedition has registration has been closed because we hit max capacity.
We did hit. Okay.
We hit max capacity.
Is there a waiting list now?
There's a waiting list now. So if you go to the website, you can sign up to be on the waiting list. I've got some emails back and forth with some people. There's a couple, potential people that might have to shift their schedule. And I'm still waiting for confirmation on a couple of the people on the vendor side to see if they're going to join, and that may open up a couple spots. So if you're interested in going, join the waiting list at trailchasers.net/events, and we will keep you informed. I sent out, if you have registered for the event, you should have gotten at least 2 emails from me. Last Sunday, I sent out an email to all of the individual participants except for Matt and Jose, because I knew they wouldn't read it, with confirmation of this is you registered, this is your shirt size, this is your passenger, this is what you paid. So if there's anything that's missing from that, please send me an email, Cody@trailchasers.net. Sounds like it's going to be a really fun group. We have a lot of my only concern right now is, and I'm going to be straight up we've got a Power Wagon and an F-250. So we've got 2 full-size trucks, and at least one of the trails I'm not concerned about. There's 2 of the trails I'm not concerned about. There's one trail I have to do some more research on to see how wide it is, to see if that's going to fit. That'd be my only concern.
Is that spot I was talking about? One of the videos you sent, and it's like a hard right, and then it gets really tight.
Yeah, that we may have to shift that around a little bit, because
I can bring like my DeWalt hammer drill, like with the bit, and we could like break that rock down.
Oh no! I'd rather just cut a notch out of the doors of the of the truck.
Oh,
if we start,
grinder with a cutting wheel.
No, if we start in the middle of the back door and go like an arch to the middle of the front door, that'll open up all kinds of rocker space.
Yeah, it will, and it'll ventilate nice.
It'll be clean. It'll be a nice clean turn around that rock. So
up and down that trail.
Look forward to that, guys. When you get out there, we're going to sawzall your truck just to make sure you can fit. No, so I'm gonna do some more research on the trails. There's the good thing about that area. There's 1,000 different trail opportunities. So I'm gonna look at what's available out there, see kind of where we're at. Matt and I are gonna go out early on Thursday. Maybe we'll run to one of those spots and check it out or something. I tried to get Matt and Jose to do a pre-run, and
I was in,
and someone
go. Bye.
Someone doesn't want to drive their truck that long because they don't think they'll make it back, but that's whatever.
Yeah, I said it. I don't want to take my truck out and not make it back.
Oh, you were talking about him.
I was talking about you. I was talking
about the truck.
I was talking about Matt. I didn't know Jose actually thought that. So
spend 10 hours on the road just to pre-run something. We'll just do it. That's we're Americans, all right? That's just what we do. We get out there and do it.
All right. Then we're going to do it. We're going to do it for our country. Our country wants us to.
Do they? Did we get a consensus like America?
Name the movie.
Oh, that's a movie reference.
Yes.
What? Say it again?
In the chat room. Let's do it for our country. Our country wants us to.
Oh, God. No,
let's do it for our country. The red, white, and the blue.
That's some sissified movie. It's probably like 27
Grease. Casey comes in and saves
Casey.
Well, that
point.
explains it.
Grease.
That explains it. You guys, you're proud of that, Casey. I'm gonna taunt you with
Hey,
that.
dude, lose my number, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
You should have
let's
just
do
kept
it for our
quiet.
country. See, this is what you get at the Sisson household. Like, we literally throw stupid references from movies out all the time, and it's a constant back and forth.
I thought it was going to be probably that movie about pants, like where they share pants or something. I don't know. That's probably one of those movies you would watch.
Cody, you know the title, dude.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Sharing pants?
Yeah, it's like a girl's movie. Or like some other. Grease would have been a perfect. I should have said Grease.
It was
I
Grease.
should have. Just as embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed because I know the title that Matt's talking about the traveling pants movie.
There you go.
Oh, see, I didn't know that one.
But right? He probably saw that.
No,
He cried.
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
maybe.
There you
Oh,
go.
look, Elam steps up. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. That needs to
He
become.
said it, not me.
That needs to become a segment. That needs to become a segment on the
He
show.
even posted pants.
I know he did. He's got a pants
It's
emoji
like an
in there.
Emoji of pants.
We need to do a
I
segment.
didn't know there was a pan emoji.
I see people putting
How do you-
emojis on here. How are you doing?
How do you do that? Is it like Sisterhood of Pants and then you type pants emoji and it just pops up? I don't even know how that works.
You just got to put blank emoji and whatever you put in the blank, it'll come up. Is that how it works?
I don't know. That's technology I haven't uncovered yet. But we need to do a segment where we put out a random movie quote and see who can come up with it in the chat room. And sometime in the near future, this week I should have stickers and some other stuff coming in, and then we will as part of the orders we're going to do for some of the winter expedition stuff. Hopefully, we get some more shirts and hats in soon. Then we'll start giving those away. All right, guys. Well, look, I won't bother you with any of my cool 80s movie quotes anymore because you guys can't handle it. Thanks for being in the chat room. Those of you that show up every week, we appreciate it. And for those of you that are coming on the winter expedition, man, it's getting closer. I'm super stoked. I cannot wait. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You have a good night. All right. Let me save that.
We had a thumbs down.
What?
What did we say?
Fuck.
Yeah, too many fucks on this episode?
Is there such a thing? Yes, there is, by the way. The answer to that, yes, there is. Casey, thank you for stepping up and
You just
covering me.
You just weakened yourself in front of
Casey,
everybody.
Casey said, Cody, did you see the post I sent yesterday? Is that the one of Zen riding the bike? I did see that one. Was there something else I was supposed to see on that? I don't know. And I'm assuming you're talking about Instagram.
It's him doing the Buffalo Bill dance from Silence of the Lambs.
Is it all tucked in? All
deep tuck, dude.
I want to see that.
You do?
No, after I said it, I was hoping nobody noticed that I actually said that.
Dude, how do you not notice saying that you want to see your brother do that
Whatever.
tuck dance?
Like you wouldn't laugh. Like you wouldn't film it and laugh.
I wouldn't film it, but I will laugh.
I would run and hide.
So, anyways, it was a good conversation with Chase, as always. He's a good guy. All right, everybody in the chat room, thank you guys for being there. I appreciate it.
Sign up for that wait list because you never know. People will drop out.
Yeah, we've already had one drop off. I had to do a refund. I expect that there may be one or two that drop off. So if you guys are interested, definitely join the waiting list. And part of that list includes a couple people from vendors and sponsors that have said that they were going to go, but I don't have a confirmation on that. So, that may open up a spot or two. So anything else, guys, before we shut down the live feed? No? All right, guys. Well, appreciate it, you guys. Every week you guys are here, and it's fun. Thank you guys for joining, and we will chat with you guys later.